Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy back with another video, and we're going to be reacting to this Akash situation, bro. And I'm already familiar with the situation somewhat, with the whole thing with his wife and why it's kind of cooked. But this YouTuber by the name of Yatsumi432 is going to give us more insight, and I'm going to link the video in the description. He only has 700 subs, so definitely give him some more subs. Definitely give him some support. I mean, I only have 20 subs, so I don't know what my ass is gonna do, but you gotta help a brother out, right? So we're definitely gonna react to this video right now. Let's just see why this Akash dude is absolutely positively, without a shadow of a doubt, beyond cooked.
Let's talk about it. If you don't know who Akash Singh is pretty much an Indian comedian, and he's also like hosting this podcast with Andrew Schultz, who's also a comedian. And 4 years ago, they invited Fresh and Fit, and he said this pretty much.
What I find corny is my preference is not my women. Now, I thought it was I'm not dating my women, period, which is the corniest human being outside of a criminal to me, period. Those are your roots. Those women are reflected in your roots. So if you're saying, hey, I don't generally date them, but I have more space for it, even though I still think it's a little corny.
Akash only dates brown. Akash has been with one girl in his life who's his wife.
That's my wife. That's an
so
Indian
this
woman.
is like loyal through and through.
And I understand it's not as important for y'all, but as an Indian, there's not a lot of us who are famous.
Now, also, I don't fully agree or disagree with that sentiment, right? Like, I don't think, like, when it comes to love, I don't think you have to date anyone in just because they're of the same group as you, right? But definitely the way Fresh and Fit go about it, like to typecast Black women specifically, especially like in this climate where Black women really aren't given that type of affordability in the first place, and to knowingly do that, and to be like dark skinned in Fresh's case, and at least just non-white in Fit's case, because I think Fit is Myron, is kind of crazy. And doubly so because, again, like I said, they are to an extent Black, right? Like, I know Fresh is like from Barbados, and Myron I think is like Ethiopian or something like that. But it's like it does kind of make you look bad by default too, because if your women are so bad, right? Like, they're low-key a reflection of you, because all of you guys, it's assumed that you guys grew up in the same environment. So if that environment is churning out bad women, why would that environment not be churning out bad men either? I've never really understood dudes that do that.
So whether you like it or not, people are looking at you as a role model. You guys have established yourselves as role models, from simps to pimps, which is another motto I find kind of corny, but I looked into what you guys are about. And a lot of this shit is just childish, which is fine if you want to be funny. We just talk about how doctors ain't shit for 45 minutes. We are not in any way life coaching. We're not in any way trying to help men outside of, hey, come have a laugh for a couple hours. If you're going to paint yourself as life coaches and then say shit like, my preference is, which is honestly bullshit. It is, I don't want to date Black girls. That's the way every Black dude that fucks white girls says it. I've dated Black girls in my life. All right, bro. Who the fuck hasn't, except me? You know what I mean? Everybody's gonna dabble in everything. It is the mentality that I have an issue with. And Alex is upset with the specific words, true, but underneath it, he's upset with the mentality. And a lot of stuff you guys say in general, I think is stuff that's kind of childish. I saw a clip where you were like, oh, the nuclear family's falling apart. What do you do? I don't get married. Just don't get married. You're actually trying to help men, or you talking to fucking
Yeah, again, I don't really disagree there either. I think, especially because if you're going to market yourself as a advice type of content, right? Like, your preference isn't really like, I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but you're not going to tailor advice to your preferences, because your preferences are specific to you, and advice needs to follow a general principle, right? So even if everything they said about was true, right, in their experience, and that was truly what they experienced, and it was always completely not their fault, that isn't going to apply in everybody else's situation. So it doesn't make sense to give advice based off of your experience. It doesn't make sense to give advice based off of your sensibilities only, because, again, it's not going to apply to the general pop. Like, I was about to play the video, but I had another example. That's like if you're asking someone how they should navigate like college, and you just tell them, oh yeah, just do the same program that I'm doing, even if they don't have the aptitude for it. That doesn't make any sense. You would give them general advice that can be adapted into fit their situation. Oh, follow the right classes, follow your strengths, avoid your weaknesses, right? That kind of stuff. Like, that doesn't need to be tailored to any specific person, because that's applicable across the board. So
cells who are 18 years old. That's some shit you said at college. I'm turning from a simp to a pimp. All right, bro. Can we grow up?
Now I pretty much agree with everything that you said. I don't really subscribe to the red pill ideology. So yeah, if you've seen this channel, you pretty much know where I stand on, you know, all of the red pill talk. I do personally think that the red pill ideology is there to like appease either the incels or like the Miami bros who are there to try to collect a roster of women. So pretty much Akash is under fire right now because he portrays himself as such, you know, a traditional man and all that, saying that he met his wife. He was a virgin and she was a virgin too. His wife is on TikTok and on podcasts telling about, you know, how she had a roster full of guys, how she had like a butthole story, and specifically how she wants to have a threesome with like a threesome, no, not a threesome, an orgy with him and her co-host or her friend's husband and all that. And it's just very embarrassing to watch. I'll just show you some clips right here.
My wife also hadn't had any sexual partners, so that helped us connect a lot more.
Let me ask you this: how do you believe her?
So painfully nostalgic for college. So I was popping my pussy.
Nah, that's crazy, bro. And okay, how am I gonna word this? I don't think there is anything wrong with people having sexual experiences, right? Like I don't really subscribe to the idea that, oh, like, you know, if you're a woman you have to be a virgin, all this shit, right? But I think why this video is so irking is because, and honestly, screw the virgin wife thing, bro. Like, because I don't think you need to value that. Even if you value it, that's cool. If you don't, that's whatever. It's the fact that she says she's nostalgic for it. So that means that she feels like what she has now isn't good enough. And then not only does she feel that, she's announcing that to us, to the world, that yeah, my husband's like low-key kind of trash. And that's embarrassing. That's kind of crazy.
I'm living my best life in these white boy frat houses.
Actively trying to have an orgy because, and you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you fucking see him. His body goes crazy. His face card always slays, never declines. And it's kind of weird because I'm talking about your husband. I just know that Nav's dick.
And then she's talking about her co-host husband and how much amazing he is. Bro, is there a video like this where he talks about her husband like this, bro? Does that video exist? Can we find it? Have I looked? I haven't looked, but so I'm not gonna say that it doesn't exist. But I have not seen anyone bring it up. Shit.
It's like at least 10 inches. Okay, I have two butthole stories. So one time I met this guy on Tinder and I made the dumb mistake of letting him sleep over, like not really wanting to fucking hook up. And I like woke up in the morning and like my asshole was a little sore. Oh my God.
My wife also hadn't had any sexual partners, so that helped us connect a lot more.
Me personally, I don't think I would be able to pursue or continue a relationship with a woman who openly disrespects me like this online. And I think it's also pretty cringy that she's now in her 30s because now Akash is 41 and he pursued her when she was 22 and he was 31. Kind of weird. Like, what do you have in common at 30 with a 22-year-old girl that's in college? But anyways, I digress. But like I said, I think it's pretty cringy that she's like in her 30s talking like a bratty teenager from Beverly Hills. Like, oh my God. So like, oh my God, like your husband, like his face card is valid. That is absolutely insufferable. Her podcast adds zero substance because it's literally just her talking about how she's financially dependent on him because she's saying that like his money is her money, but her money is like her own money, meaning that she doesn't contribute almost anything to the relationship.
And I will say it again because I know there's going to be already like incel troll motherfuckers. This is not a two-way street. This is a one-way street. His money is our money and my money is my money.
At that point, what do you actually contribute to the marriage or to the relationship? Because like he married a girl like this. That's kind of where my sympathy grows a little thin because like he got with her knowing how she was and knowing she was like this. So that's where I kind of feel a bit less bad. But at the same time, almost no man who has a minimum of self-respect would go out with a woman like this who would openly embarrass them in public.
Yeah, no, I don't really disagree there. I think there's a lot of things to unpack, right? Like also, is she just like, before we even get to that, an aside, I think she just admitted to getting S8, which is kind of fucked up. So, that's fucked up. So, yeah, condolences there because, we kind of just glossed over that. But so beyond that, if you're going like hyping up other men like that in such a brazen way, with such enthusiasm, especially when your partner is like an active public personality, is insane. Because there's no way you don't know that this is going to get back to them, right? And I think this is just one of those things too where, because he alluded to earlier, what does a 31-year-old have in common with a 22-year-old? And assuming Akash was already like pretty well off like financially by then, I think it might speak to, I don't know, maybe just a lack of game, a lack of attractiveness, not being able to get woman his own age. Because like you got to think, right? Like a 22-year-old fresh out of college is thinking about a couple things. How am I going to pay off all this student debt, and where am I going to stay if I'm not with my parents? And obviously, like, it's not as bad. It wasn't as bad then as it is now in that regard. But I feel like maybe from her it's probably just a matter of convenience, to be honest. Like, this Indian dude who loves me, spends money on me. I don't really have any prospects right now. Whatever, might as well just go with it. And I think that's kind of where we're at right now. And I think that's kind of the explanation I can think of for how this union came to be. And like the guy said, Akash is a grown man, and he married her in his 30s, so he has enough mental capacity. He's been an adult long enough that he should know better. So it's definitely hard to spread sympathies to him that much.
Public like that online, like that's absolutely crazy work.
So that is actually my number one. They must be generous with their finances from day fucking one.
So a guy needs to be financially generous with his finances from day one. That doesn't really seem fair. What if after like a few months the girl doesn't want to be with him anymore? Is she talking about like being generous on the first date immediately? That's probably what she's talking about. I don't understand paying for the entire date on the first date when you don't even know if the girl really likes you for you. You don't even know if you're gonna see her again. So I think that statement is very stupid. Apparently they've been together for like 10 years and all that. Fair enough. If Akash wouldn't have been as successful as he is today, I don't really think she would have been in the situation where she would have like been a ride or die for him or something. Especially if she's not doing anything around the house, especially if she's not contributing anything financially, and especially if Akash is like the sole breadwinner and all that. Because yeah, there's a lot of relationships where like there's like one man working and another woman that's like taking care of the house and all that. But at least she's taking care of the house. At least she's cooking the hot meals. At least she's like taking care of the kids if they have kids or whatever. Honestly, that is a solid relationship. That's a relationship that I would love to be in if I would be extremely successful. I wouldn't want my woman to work, but if she would want to work, I wouldn't be opposed to it too. I would much rather be in a relationship like that where she at least contributes something into the relationship, because it's supposed to be like a team effort. It's supposed to be a teamwork. But her saying that like her money is her money and his money is her money as well, it kind of shows, that she almost doesn't give a shit about Akash, except from like the sole fact that he pays for the entirety of her bill.
Yeah, and I think it just speaks to a dynamic of, look how much, I guess, cooler I am, or look how much higher of a social standing. Well, I can't say social standing because obviously he's the famous one, but like within like their interpersonal dynamic, I'm on the higher end. And I feel like what makes it more damning is not even just the fact that the dynamic is like that, but the fact that she feels the need to brag so much about, look how much I can do or not do, and this guy's still gonna like buy me whatever I want and pay the bills or whatever. So it feels more like an ego stroke to say, look how cool I am, than, oh, look how generous my husband is. So it's not even like a case of, oh, like my husband is so generous to do XYZ for me. It's more so like, look how cool I can be that I got this guy that's rich to do XYZ for me, and I don't even have to put in that much effort. So it's like not even an appreciative thing. It's more of a way to stroke her own ego, which is unfortunate.
She gets money from him to like fund herself and all that. She probably funded the entire podcast with his paychecks.
For those of you who are new here, hi, my name is Justine. I'm a stay-at-home wife, but I don't cook or clean because I don't feel like it. And my husband is a full-time stand-up comedian, and he buys me lots of nice things.
There's an imbalance, and there's disrespect.
And that video is proof. Like, see, she introduces herself. She just says what she does or doesn't do. That's like one of the first things that she says after declaring herself as a wife. She introduces her husband, and the first thing she talks about is how much what he does for her, what he can do for her in this relationship. Doesn't talk about his personality, doesn't talk about what she likes about him as a person in any meaningful way, just immediately to how he can benefit her in her life. So yeah, I think that kind of says what it needs to.
Respect in the relationship. Me personally, I wouldn't really stand for that if I was Akash, but whatever. It's not my relationship. It's his relationship.
Okay, guys, I want to talk to you really quick because obviously my name keeps getting brought up by either women or men. Lately, it's these red pill guys because I said my money, or what did I say? His money is our money and my money is my money, which is a common saying, whatever. I'm not even elaborate because I don't fucking care to explain myself to them. That's what I feel like you guys are doing. Whether it's Andrew Tate or these fucking red pill podcast guys, like when they tell you something, when they ask you to jump, you say how high. You're still not a man either way. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you're still a little bitch beta boy doing whatever these fucking men tell you. Why are you mad at us? Why are you mad?
Also, I like how in this example, she only says like what. That's like probably the least offensive thing. Well, not offensive because yeah, maybe not offensive. That's probably the right word. That's like the least crazy thing that people reacted to out of the things that have come out of her mouth, bro. Like the my money, his money thing is like definitely dead last out of the things that people would be reacting to and saying that's kind of crazy too. Maybe what you're feeling nostalgia for is what you should be addressing. Maybe it's the way you talk about your co-host husband. Maybe you should be addressing that in this video instead of the money thing, because like that's literally like completely tame and completely down in the totem pole of crazy shit to come out of this chick's mouth, bro.
Joke now.
From Priya. Would y'all ever have an orgy together with your husband?
Priya,
She tried.
I'm actively trying to have an orgy because this couple is so fucking good looking, and you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you fucking see him. His body goes crazy.
Damn, bro, if this is a joke, if this is a joke, I would hate to see what she says when she's being serious. Like, if this is a joke, I don't want to know what she's gonna say when she's being dead ass. I'm actually scared to ask, bro. Like, just dog, bro.
His face card always slays, never declines. And it's kind of weird because I'm talking about your husband.
There's a difference being a scammer and being a hustler. Two very different things.
Okay.
I'm a hustler who scams a little bit. I'm not a scammer
I'm
who
not
hustles.
gonna lie, that was sexy. And that's why I'm actively trying to have an orgy.
Wait.
I don't know the full fragments and the full entirety of the relationship because I'm not in their relationship. But from what I've seen online, it's not looking too good. And it just looks like she's taken advantage of Akash's wealth, Akash's success to, kind of piggyback off of his back and get success through him by only talking about like her sexual escapades on podcasts, further embarrassing him and talking about Akash been in like a demeaning, manner where like Akash is like her ATM or some shit like that. Her podcast has zero substance. Absolutely zero substance. Nobody wants to watch a 30-year-old woman talk about her sexual escapades. It's just very embarrassing. Anyways, what do you guys think about it?
And it's quite unfortunate too, because it's like there are plenty of ways to get famous these days, bro. Like, and you don't need to embarrass your husband to do that. Like, I am sure there is a niche. She's a 30-year-old Indian woman. I don't know what part of America she's from. And she's not even bad. She's actually pretty good looking, in my opinion. So there's definitely a niche out there that she can use to get the level of fame she's looking for without having to resort to this, bro. Which is what makes it even more unfortunate. But hey, it is what it is. Like I said, I'm going to put link to the original creator's video in the comment section. Give him some love. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Let him know what you thought about his video. And most importantly of all, remember to have a good day.